Good morning, guys. Colorado Dave here, and we are going to have another knife sale. Today we are talking about 10 knives on Thursday, July 1st. A couple of these knives I've tried to sell before over the last couple days. I did sell quite a few of them. So you'll see some that you've recognized, and you'll see a couple others that you do not recognize. I am thinning out my collection as I have some important things that I got to take care of family business wise with some of the money. This happens in times in our lives. And so I'm actually thinning out my collection and focusing on just a couple of my nicer knives that I want to keep and really carry and spend some time with and share with you guys online on my channel. But I am going to take some of the knives that I don't use as much and sell them for, again, for some family needs that we have right now. So anyway, so that's what I got going on. At some point I may share all this with you on why I'm doing all this, but it's not easy. I love every one of these knives very, very much. I'm doing what I have to do. And so that's why I'm thinning out my collection here a little bit. But as all us enthusiasts know, I will eventually build it up again when the opportunity comes. But right now we have run across a little bit of hard times, and so we are trying to raise a little bit of cash flow. So any help on this would be greatly appreciated, guys. I am newer with my channel. I'm going to keep doing my channel. I do a lot of culinary things as well. I do some camping. I have some exciting videos that I'm planning on doing here in the near future. So please do subscribe to my channel if you would. I have gotten quite a few subscribers over the last month. I just started. Probably doesn't seem like a lot to you guys, but I'm gearing in on 100, which for me is kind of a big deal. So, again, every subscriber is appreciated. So thank you guys who have subscribed. And I'm going to keep doing this because so far I'm having fun and I'm meeting some nice people. So anyway, but let's talk about selling a few knives here today. I'm going to try to do this fairly quickly. I have prices written on all of them. I may make a change or two on one or two of the prices. I have lowered a couple as I am trying to move these. So anyway, if you are interested in any of these knives, I need you to mention it by knife, exactly which one you want. Give me the price that I have listed here, which I have as well, but just to confirm that we're on the same page. Just give me your full name and your PayPal account information along with the mailing address for the knife. And we can do that through my email here, which is mfg.dpayne, P-A-Y-N-E, @gmail.com. Please use that email address. Just email me which knife you're interested in. If you're the first one to get a hold of me, I will let you know immediately if you are or you're not. Not immediately, but as soon as I get the message, which should be fairly quickly because I check my messages a lot. If you definitely are the first one and you get me all your PayPal information, etc., we will get the knife in the mail to you the next morning. So that's kind of where I'm at with this and how I'm doing it. I have done this twice now. I've done 10 knives each time. The first time I did it, I just sold one knife because it was my first time doing it. The second time I sold 3 knives. This is my third time trying it. So I have had some luck with it. Like I said, I've only done it here over the last week. In addition to that, I did sell another 5 knives on Blade Forum as well. So I am on that as a way to sell knives as well. So you'll see a couple of these knives on there possibly if you're on that site also. But anyway, let's get into it here a little bit and get started. Where do I want to start? That's a good question. I guess we'll start with Benchmade. That's as good a place as any. I do have a Super Freak. This is not a new one. This is one that has been a user. It is the Super Freak Benchmade 560-2, I believe it is. This is used. I do have a nice mirror edge on it. It's super slicey, guys. I've actually put the edge on it twice with my KME system to really get into the M4 steel. I had watched a couple steel guys and they had recommended you do that. And when you get into this M4, that you just really will get a beautiful edge that'll retain gorgeously. And the steel's just a little bit nicer when you get into it. And I would tend to agree based on my experience. And Benchmade does a great job with the heat treatment on this M4. It's a dynamite knife. I really like this knife. Again, I'm not giving any of these knives up because I want to give them up. I'm giving them up because I need to give them up. But the action is perfect on it. It does have some wear on the clip and stuff like that just because it isn't a brand new knife. But for a knife that has some wear, it's actually in really nice shape. So if you're looking for a Benchmade, you want to save a couple bucks, and you want one that's definitely been proven that has phenomenal action, couldn't recommend this knife enough. I'm not giving it justice underneath this camera, but it has great action. It really does. It's dynamite. That is the Benchmade Super freak. Let's go on to the next one here. Try to keep this thing going. We'll go into our ZTs. I have a ZT here that is the 0308, the new tiger striped one that's all blacked out. You have the G10 scales on the one side, on the front show side, and then on the back side here, you have the titanium frame lock. And as you can see, it's all blacked out. It does have the black and gray tiger stripe, which is just a gorgeous, gorgeous blade. I didn't know if I was going to like it. I really wasn't hip on the tiger stripe theme, to be honest, in the beginning. Since getting the knife and playing with the knife and looking at the actual workmanship of it, it's gorgeous, guys. It's a beautiful, beautiful knife. This has pretty much been a safe queen. This knife is in beautiful shape. It has a great, great edge from the factory on it. The thing that's really cool about this knife too is the serial number on that, if you can see it, is 0038. So this was the 38th one made off the line, and it's the 0308. So that's got to have some collector's value at some point, I would assume. This is just a really, really nice knife. Again, if I wasn't trying to raise some money, this is a knife I would keep. I really wanted to get, I believe 320 is full price on it. I really wanted 290 because this thing's like brand new. And the action is phenomenal. I've played with a couple others, and this action is better than the ones that I've touched. The detent's perfect. Anyway, I did go ahead and lower it to 280. And so do let me know if you have any interest in that, as I do want to sell it. So that is the ZT0308. Let's go ahead and move forward onto the next, which is going to be my ZT0393. And this is the Rick Hinderer design. This has a 20 CV blade on it as far as the steel, which, by the way, the last knife had 20 CV steel on there as well. This is the harpoon shape, and it's basically a play on the Eclipse from Hinderer. If you can see that there, that's going to give you all your information on the 0393. It says GLCF, which is glow-in-the-dark carbon fiber. So these overlays are carbon fiber that do glow in the dark when you light it. When you put them under the light for a period of time and you go in the dark, they do light up. They're pretty cool. Not practical, but they're cool. And even without them being lit up, the scales are really attractive. So that's why, for me, I thought it was cool. I didn't get it for the glow-in-the-dark as much as I just thought they were attractive scales regardless. But the glow-in-the-dark's kind of a cool touch just for fun. This does have a Hinderer-style clip on it, as you can tell. It's not a true deep carry, but for this specific knife, I prefer it because it gives me something to hold on to and yank it out of my pocket. This one actually comes in and out of the pocket very nicely and fits in the pocket very nicely. I didn't put the information out on that one, did I? This is the Hinderer, like I told you. I was trying to get $245 for it because, again, this is in a really, really good condition. I've not taken this out at all. The only thing I've done to it is I put a KME edge on it that I've mirrored up that is gorgeous, and it's made this thing crazy slicey. This knife was a little bit dull out of the factory, so I did decide to go ahead and put an edge on it, even though I wasn't sure if I was keeping it because I really believed it would add to the value of the knife based on the fact that it just makes it that much slicier and that much more of a user. But yet I really haven't truly used this knife. So that's what that one's all about. I'm looking for $230, guys. Please let me know your thoughts. We got another ZT here. We are looking at the 0456, which is probably one of the best action knives that I have in my collection. It's extremely smooth. Again, the ZT 0456. This is the Dmitry Sinkovich design. This thing's like new as well, guys. It's basically just been a user around the house. Again, talking about edges and sharp edges, this has to be probably the sharpest or one of my sharpest edges that I've ever gotten factory edge-wise from any knife ever. I have done nothing to this edge. I haven't even had to strop it. And it just holds a phenomenal edge. As far as the steel, it is the actual CTS 204P, which people say is the same as the 20CV, the CPM 20CV. I believe this steel's better. And the only reason I'm saying that is I just love the edge on this so much. They're saying it's the same, basically mixed for the steel, but it's just coming from another company. But for whatever reason, the way it's heat treated or what, I just felt like I got better performance out of this knife. And again, I'm only cutting paper, and I did cut cardboard a couple times with it. That is it, because this has been a safe queen big time. Anyway, this is the real deal. I know there's some fakes running around out there. I bought this from DLT Trading, so it's legit. Beautiful, beautiful knife. Really like this knife. Another hard one for me to get rid of. Dmitry Sinkovich, that is going to be the 0456, looking for $260. And do keep in mind, that is the asking price. That's the price I paid for it from DLT Trading, and that is a discontinued knife that you can't even get anymore. On eBay, I've been seeing them run for around $3.99. So I do feel like that's definitely a fair price. I'm not trying to get greedy on it. I'm just trying to get my money out of it. If you have a different thought, do let me know. This is the RJ Martin ZT, which is the 0609. And this is a really cool knife that was kind of underestimated a little bit, I think, when it came out. And some people got upset because of this pivot, because it had a proprietary tool to take it apart. And I guess when they first came out with the knife, the tool wasn't ready. And so the tool didn't come out for like 3 months later. So it did piss some people off. And I think it turned some people off on this knife. But it shouldn't, because this is just a beautiful, beautiful knife that's done in titanium. It's a frame lock. It's all brassed out, or bronzed out, excuse me. And it's got a really nice bronze anodized to it. It's got phenomenal action, gorgeous blade shape, crazy smooth. Again, this has been a safe queen. I've done nothing but put an edge on this thing, and it's because I do a lot of sharpening. And again, this one came with a so-so edge. It wasn't that great from the factory, so I did put my mirror edge on it. But outside of that, this knife is clean like a brand new knife. The centering on this knife is perfect. Every knife that I've shown you so far, the centering is perfect if I didn't show it to you. There's not one with bad centering at all. I think you can see it on that one. But again, this is the RJ Martin. This is the 0609 ZT. Beautiful, beautiful knife. I was telling you about the proprietary tool. I do have the tool. It's the Kershaw STP tool is what they call it, to take the pivot apart. I have it brand new in the box, and the box hasn't even been opened. And that's probably an additional $20 for the tool. And I'm including it in the price of $225. So let me know your thoughts on that if you would, please. We're going to go on to the Spyderco Ikuchi. I want to sell this knife. I love this knife, but I just need the money right now, and I don't really use it. I don't use it at all, and so that's the reason I'm selling it. I hate to sell it so cheap because, honestly, I think it's worth every penny of the $140 I paid for it. I'm just not in a position to be holding on to it right now in my collection because I'm more of an enthusiast than a collector. So in that breath, I brought it down to 105, which I thought was fair because this is, again, I have all the original box. It's basically brand new out of the box. This is the CQI version. So as you can see, it is very drop shutty. You do not have any issues as far as the blade sticking out and hurting your finger or anything like that, because I guess in the version 1 there were some issues with that. This is a Paul Alexander design, who I think is a great designer. Love the knife. It's a really cool knife. It's just a luxury I can't afford right now, so that's why I'm getting rid of it. I want 105 for it. If you're watching this video and you get this far into this video and you say that I offered it at $100, I will honor that. So I would take $100 for it today only based on this video. This video is only going to be up for about 24 hours. If I sell the knives, great. If I don't, that's okay. I don't plan on getting rid of all of them. I just plan on getting rid of the ones that I believe are meant to be. And so I'm trusting the process. Let's move on, guys. I still do have a couple more knives. This is another one that's really hard for me to think about getting rid of because I love this knife. I wanted to get it as a collector's item initially, and then I started playing around with it in the house and fell in love with the action and just the knife itself. This is going to be the Benchmade 940 BK 2004 Osborne. This is one of the Blade HQ exclusives. This is the one that's done in the jade and the M4 steel. I have all the original boxing and everything. We will take the knife out, show you what that's all about. Gorgeous, gorgeous knife. Really, really like this knife. You may agree or disagree. I wanted to keep this as a user, and I just can't afford it because I had to make a decision to only keep a couple, and this one did not make the cut. Even though I'm still already regretting the fact of this not making the cut. If this one doesn't sell, it's okay. I'm not going to probably fluctuate a whole lot on it, just so you know. And the reason being is I really like the knife, and I want to make it a user, even though I think it's more of a collector item. I did go ahead and put an edge on it, even though I have not used this knife outside of flicking it in the house. I did put my mirror edge on it, reason being, this is my first Osborne I've ever owned. I did not like the fact that the behind the edge it was as thick as it was. And so I did go ahead and decide to thin it out on my KME, and I took it down to a 17-degree angle, and it's razor sharp with just a beautiful mirror edge. No regrets on doing that because I love the M4 that Benchmade does. And that's the other reason I wanted to put the edge on it, because I just really like their M4. And I believe you need to get into the steel to really get the best out of it. So I did put one edge on it, but by no means has this been a user. It's a very clean knife. And the action's phenomenal, and it is perfectly centered down the middle. So this is really a great example of one. I'll be honest, when these first came out, I ordered one, and I got a bad one. It was super stiff. It was not centered at all. It was not in good shape, to be honest. The action was horrible. Sent it back to Blade HQ. They turned around. I was lucky enough to get another one because they had done a second run of these, because it was actually off the first run. I got my first one. They had done a second run of these, thank goodness. I was able to buy one in the second one because I still wanted one. I just knew I had a bad one. And I got this one in the second run, and this one is just perfect as far as the action and everything else. So highly recommend this knife. I know I'm babbling, guys, but that's me, sorry. $220 is what I'm asking. I want to say it was around 200 bucks when I bought it new, 195 or whatever it was. So it was right around 200 bucks. I'm looking to make 20 bucks on it basically to cover my PayPal expense and to cover my shipping. That's all I'm really looking to do on this, guys. I'm not getting greedy. I know there's guys out there trying to get a lot more for this knife. I think that's more than fair. Let's move on to the next one. We are looking at my Medford Smooth Criminal. I have had this on the auction block before and did try to sell it here recently, and it did not sell yet. And so I might fluctuate that price by $10 and take that down to $250. Let me get a pen. Let's see, I think I got one over here. So we are gonna go like that, and I'm gonna take it down to $250. Why am I still trying to get $250 for this knife? It's $290 new, it's not brand new. I do have an extra clip included in this knife that's brand new from Medford, with Medford's name and everything on it, because when I originally got the knife, there was a little scratch in the clip, and I called up Medford, and they did send me out another clip. I never switched it over because I did make this a slight user, and so because of that, I never switched over. I figured I'd just ship it new. Looking at the knife, you get the case, which comes with the Medford knife. Here's your Medford box. You do have your born card and all that. Your born card on this specific one, if you can see that, is February 12th of 2021, so this is a new knife. There is the extra clip in there as well, and then there is the warranty in there also. But let's go ahead and take the knife out of the case and take a look at what we got here. This is the blue anodized aluminum frame, Medford knife and tool, Smooth Criminal button lock knife. That is just unbelievably fun and fidgety as far as a knife goes. It's got perfect center down the middle, as you can see. Everything is just crazy tight as far as the tolerances. It's a beautiful, beautiful knife. Again, just a luxury I can't really afford right now, so it's one I decided that I was going to give up for now. I will have another Medford at some point, and it'll probably be another Smooth Criminal, to be honest with you. I really like the size. I think it's a great EDC size. The edge that came with it, I did take off, and I did put my edge on there. It was okay. It wasn't a bad edge, but it wasn't a great edge either. It was just so sharp. So I went ahead and put a sharper edge on there. Again, I like the mirror look, so I went ahead and put a mirror edge on it. And this thing's really, really slicey. And the action is just stinking phenomenal on this knife. And like I said, I do have an extra clip with it as well. I am looking for $250. That is a $10 markdown. I feel very confident in the price because you are getting the extra clip with it as well, which I think the clip's about 40 bucks. So if you were technically to add that on, you'd be taking them $290 and $40, and you'd be at like, you know, $330 knife that you're getting for $250. So depending on how you look at it, it could be considered a real good value for you. But that's the Medford Smooth Criminal. We'll go ahead and put that out of the way. And we are looking at our last knife. And this is another one that I am kind of looking for my price. I'm not looking to really fluctuate on it. I have real hesitation on selling this knife. I'm showing it here today. If I don't sell it, it's fine. And it very well may never get shown again to be sold because I love this knife very, very much. But again, I'm in a position where I'm trying to raise some money. This is my Chris Reeve Large Sabenza 31. It's got natural micarta inlays, and it is double lugged, which is difficult to find. And it does have an edge on it. I did change the edge because I'm personally not a huge convex edge guy. So I do, with all my Chris Reeve knives, I immediately change them with my KME, and I change them over to a 17-degree angle, and it makes just the most beautiful mirror edge of any knife that I own, just because of the quality of the grind from Chris Reeve is so nice. And I apologize, guys. This knife actually has a little bit of dirt on it. I did not clean it 100%. This knife has been slightly used, so I can't say it hasn't been used at all. There is no scratches on it that are visible at all on this knife. None, zero. I've taken very good care of it. This is the natural micarta inlays that are just breaking in, and they're beautiful. They're more gorgeous than ever. This knife is just perfect as far as the action. I don't know what to tell you except to tell you that the action is perfect. If you've been watching any of my videos, this knife did go in the shop when I first got it. It's got a born date of, I believe, January 6th. I bought it in late January, mid-January. When I got the knife, the pivot and the stop pin, there was issues with the screw staying tightened down. And so I sent it in. They fixed it. They knew exactly what the issue was. I believe they call it the Tessa issue or something, which is one of their employees that used to work there that basically made some kind of mistake with this knife on the line that caused this one issue where there'd be some vibration where the pins could loosen up, as I understand it roughly. Anyway, so I got that fixed, and then I had the second lug put on it because I bought it as a single lug. And so it does have the double lug now. So this knife actually, I've had it since January, end of January, but it's been in the shop for 2 months. So it really has not been carried that much. That's why it's in such phenomenal shape. And it really is in phenomenal shape. But because of that, I had full inspection and everything done on it when I went in the shop. It is, since it's come back, it's unbelievable how nice the action is on this one. It's just really, really, really nice. If you were to buy the Chris Reeve knife, large Sabenza 31 with the natural inlays, that would be $550. With the lugs, the double lugs, they get another $30. So that would be $580. So basically what I'm trying to do is take $40 off that price and sell it for $540, which feels fair to me because there's not that many of them out there. This is in the S35 VN steel, not the S45, which I have mixed feelings on, because part of me is saying that I think the S35s are going to become valuable because I really like the steel, as it's obviously been tested, it's been proven, and with Chris Reeve being one of the initial, founders of the steel and inventors of the steel, they've obviously mastered it and gotten it down to a science. The S45 still is not proven, so I have mixed reviews on switching to the S45. I do have a small Sabenza in it, and to be honest with you, so far, I like the S35 VN better. And that's just my personal opinion. But again, I haven't used it that much yet and really broken it in. But I do, I would sell this knife, but I'm really trying to get my price or real close to it. I'd possibly work with you a little bit, but I don't have a lot of room to work on it. So do let me know. I do love this knife. Like I said, I very well could end up, if it doesn't sell here in the next day, 2 days at the most, I could take it off and never try to sell it again because I really like the knife. That is the last one I'm showing. Obviously on the Chris Reeve, I have all the paperwork. I have all the info on it, etc. So everything's in the box. I have the the microfiber cloth, etc. I have the grease. I have the Loctite, etc. Everything that comes with it. But that is it, guys. That's the 10 knives that I'm showing for today. If you have any interest, you get it back to me at mfg.dpayne, P-A-Y-N-E, @gmail.com. I'm only going to have this up for probably 24 to 48 hours. If I sell a couple knives, great. That's all I'm really trying to accomplish. If I sell them all, that's okay too. If you do want to come to me with a multiple knife offer, I would consider working with you a little bit on the price if you came with multiple knives, because it will cut my costs on the shipping as well. So I would work with somebody on something like that also. So let me know your thoughts. Hopefully you guys like this format. I've gotten some positive feedback on it. So hopefully that continues and we're able to get a couple of these knives sold, guys, and make some new friends along the way. Thanks. Signing off for now, guys.